Do you ever stop and think about how the gas gets to the pumps for your car or how the oil to heat your house is moved? Well, me neither, but let me tell you, that's all gonna change. We rely on these giant ships to move oil all over the world. They're as long as some of the world's tallest buildings are high, and many people will never get to see them because they're too big to enter most seaports. Huh, I guess size does matter.
However loath we are to admit it, we're all of us slaves to petroleum products. We loves our toys, buddy, our SUVs, our ski-doos, hell, our heat. And as a result, it's become the job of massive oil tankers to carry this precious fuel around the world. Now, during the course of their evolution, they have become one of the most unique vehicles ever. And without them, our lives would be radically different. Oil tankers. Big, stinky, just the way I like them.
Here in Quebec City, Captain Powell is trying to safely navigate his full tanker into port.
I can understand why people think, oh, a tanker, that's scary, but really it's not. Once I saw how it was operated and how safe it was and efficient, it really takes away that doubt. In this area around the east coast of Canada, we carry a lot of petroleum products, refined products, gasoline, diesel, jet fuel. Crew complement here is 14 in the wintertime. Usually have a cadet. Basically, you're responsible for everyone on board, the ship in its entirety, the cargo you're carrying, and the environment around you. Not to mention other vessels that are around you as well. It's quite a vast responsibility. It's something that you either can handle or you can't.
Now that seems like a mighty big job. How, you may ask, do tankers carry all that oil? Let's take a look inside.
The inner hull of the ship is made up of a series of big tanks. Each one is often larger than a good-sized house. The tanks are interconnected with a system of pipes and pumps so that the oil can be moved throughout the ship in order to ensure that everything is safely balanced. In fact, when they aren't carrying oil, ships will use water as ballast. And although they aren't going to win any races, these giant ships are still pretty darn efficient, using a pair or even a single prop to move the entire vessel. Ships have been moving fuel oil for hundreds of years, but it wasn't until the 20th century that the internal combustion engine created a monumental thirst for oil. During the 1940s, both the Axis and Allies developed special tanker ships. However, it was after the war that shipbuilders began making tankers of 100,000 tons or more. The reason tankers got so big is because of my old nemesis, math. The way it works is this. By doubling the length of a ship, you actually increase the cargo capacity by 8 times. And the more oil you can bring into port, the more money you can make. In fact, the only thing that limits the size of an oil tanker are the shipping routes themselves. The bigger the tankers are, the fewer places they can safely travel.
There are over 3,500 oil tankers working in the world, and they carry nearly 2 billion, yes, I said billion, tons of oil every year. Now the question I have is this: who's gonna let me drive one? So many buttons.
Well, if I'm really lucky, I can find a spot at the Warsash Maritime Center. It's basically Top Gun for the shipping industry. They use specially designed models to replicate the handling of actual tankers in order to help ships' captains and pilots hone their skills.
God, Tom Cruise. Is that the tanker?
This is it.
It's teeny tiny.
It only seems teeny tiny.
Uh-huh.
This represents a 145,000 ton shuttle tanker. The real ship has roughly 30,000 horsepower. This has a bit less, but it will behave like the real ship. It will not stop instantly. In here we have the controls that you're going to be operating.
Right.
Throttles here, one for each side, port and starboard.
Okay.
This is showing us the percentage you're using. Currently it's running 50% astern on both.
So what are you going to call when I have to go there? You're going to go half ahead?
I will give you, in this case, I will give you half ahead. Yes.
Is that everything?
No, we haven't even started. Because you have two throttles, we may well have one going ahead and one going astern.
Oh, God.
So that's just something else to think about.
Okay. You'll be Maverick, and I'll be Goose.
Yeah.
Okay, Mav.
Yeah, that's it, exactly, yeah. With the shades.
Although things didn't end terribly well for Goose, now that I think about it. You be Goose.
Yeah. No, I'll be Maverick. Better that way. Okay, just bring it up a little bit more on the power.
Okay, wide open?
No, not yet.
50%?
50%, which is roughly half ahead.
Right. I can hear them.
Yep. And we want about 20 degrees of port rudder.
Okay. How long do we go this fast? Does it go faster than this ever?
Oh, it will do, yes. Midship.
Midships. How am I doing, Gordon?
You're doing not too bad. Well, we're getting there. Starboard 10.
Starboard 10.
Now that we're safely out in the middle of the lake, it's time for me to take over.
I don't remember any of the terms or anything. Is that a problem? Shiver me timbers, I remember.
Because of inertia, a fully loaded tanker will take miles to bring to a halt. So one thing every ship's captain has to know how to do is an emergency crash stop. Look out, swans!
Within reason, I will do what you tell me to.
Hard to port and full ahead, please.
Okay, you probably don't want to come up to full ahead
Not
initially.
full ahead. What did I say? I said half ahead.
Yeah, okay, half ahead is good.
If I stop this dead now, how long would it take us to stop?
Well, it'll easily run into that berth, that's for sure. And there is a danger of breaking the engines. You have to weigh the dangers of that against why you're crash stopping.
Straight on.
We're going straight on. Now you want to do a crash stop.
Stop! Full stop, Mr. Maxwell!
Oh, stopped. And come half astern.
Half astern, Mr. Maxwell!
Half astern. And full astern.
Full astern, Mr. Maxwell!
Full astern.
Anchors away, Mr. Douglas. Anchors away. Oh, how do you stop the anchors?
If you stop engines.
And full stop, Mr. Maxwell. How was that?
Very good. Although I think a bit more practice is in order. But it shows what we can do with manned models to take somebody like Jeff, who has no experience of ships at all, and at least teach him the basics of it.
It was pretty good, huh, Gordon?
7 out of 10. Not too bad.
Is it like 7 out of 10 imperial or metric?
Let's go imperial. We're British.
Shoot. As fun as just driving the tanker around is, sadly, the job doesn't end there. You also have to be able to get the oil on and off once you get to port.
Moving over 1 million tons of oil every single day by tanker on the high seas is clearly both difficult and dangerous. So the question is why? Why do we do it? Well, collectively, we're involved in a century-long love affair with oil, black gold, Texas tea. And whether it's healthy or not, we're the needy ones in that relationship. Please don't ever leave me.
It all started way back in the 4th century when people in China began to drill oil wells to fuel their lamps. By the 8th century, the streets of Baghdad were being paved with tar made from the nearby petroleum fields. The very first commercial oil well drilled in all of North America was in Oil Springs, Ontario. Now, to be fair, I believe they did change the name after the discovery. And Charles Fairbanks is a member of the oldest oil family in Canada.
Oil Springs is a small field. It's about 2 square miles in area. And over the 150 years that it's been pumping, there's probably about 5 million barrels that's come out. At the beginning, it was a problem to get the oil to market. Bad winter, and they had a contract in England, and they had to get the oil out, and they couldn't because the roads were so bad. So my great-grandfather said, guys, we have nature's route open to us. Let's put the barrels in the creek, float them down to the port at Wilkesport, and we'll put them on a boat and get them there. And they did. At its prime, they had 212 wells pumping here on a single rig. We're in the Orchard pumping rig. I'll try and explain what's happening here. If you look here, there's a 3-horsepower motor driving a counter shaft, which is in turn driving a big bull wheel, which is turning 2 bigger spur gears with eccentric cranks on the ends. The eccentric cranks are going through pitman arms into slider blocks, and then we have the jerker lines heading out into the field. The jerker line system is one that my great-grandfather's credited with starting. This is something that's very much on a human scale, so you tend to marvel at the things that humanity is able to do, given the challenge of getting oil out of rock.
Oil is so precious in part because we aren't even sure how it gets made. The conventional thinking about oil is called biogenic theory, and it goes a little something like this. Oil and natural gas are the product of thousands of years of compression. The decayed remains of prehistoric plants and animals are slowly compressed in the earth. Heat builds up and the material slowly takes on a liquid and gaseous state. The hydrocarbons migrate and are trapped in porous rocks. But this only happens when the conditions are just right. And when the oil runs out, it'd be gone forever. However, a few geologists have begun to support the abiogenic theory. It states that large amounts of carbon exist naturally, and some of that in the form of hydrocarbons migrate upwards, meaning that oil isn't a fossil fuel at all, and reserves can't be exhausted because they are being slowly filled from below. Although most geologists back biogenic theory, the debate over crude's creation rages on.
The same laws of production that exist for me exist for the planet. My production is probably decreasing at the rate of 3% a year. And if the world production after its peak starts to decrease at 3% a year, simple mathematics would indicate that we're in serious trouble within a decade or two.
Whichever theory you subscribe to, petroleum deposits are so profitable that companies are willing to build and send tankers all over the world just to get it to market. And that is where my good friend Captain Powell comes in. His ship, the Diamond Star, is just about ready to start offloading in Quebec City, and guess what? I'm gonna help him.
How much oil can this carry?
10,500 tons. This is only a small ship, though.
Well, yeah, I suppose they go up to like 500,000, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
But they can't get where you go.
No. That's why we're here. To carry the refined product to all these little places.
So you're carrying the good stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
Not that crude crap.
Actually, that's where this stuff comes from.
Are there any valves to...
Not really.
Good.
It's all automatic.
Good.
You don't have to turn valves.
So I just...
Let's stop this pump.
You serious?
Hello on deck.
Go in.
I'm going to stop 4s and go into 3s, okay? First, we turn down the pressure.
It's like the volume almost.
Yeah, sort of. See it drop? Okay, your pumps are down to 60.
Right.
60 bars, see? You can shut the valve at that rate.
Okay, so I'm going to shut that valve down on deck right now.
That's right. This one and this one.
By pressing that?
Yep.
What do I do? Press the green or the red?
Press the red.
Ready? Number 4. This is starboard.
Okay, now press the port light.
Number 4, port.
That red light means it's closed.
Looks good.
They're closed.
Okay, good.
He'll verify it. See? 4s are closed.
And what do I say? Thanks, buddy?
Yep, good.
Thanks, buddy.
This shuts the pump off.
Okay.
Okay.
Right down?
Right there. That's it.
Nice.
Now they're stopped.
Okay, so 4s are closed now. What we've done effectively is close that 4.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, now?
Do the opposite with 3s.
So first I'm going to build the pressure up here.
Yep.
Right to the top.
Yep.
Okay, so that's there. Here's the port.
That's it. So you're opening threes.
Open in threes.
Hit the green button on each side.
And port.
That's it. He's going to verify it.
Threes are open.
There you go.
Thanks, buddy.
Now you tell him, bringing up the pressure.
Bringing up the pressure.
That's it.
That's it?
Keep going.
Keep going. Beyond maximum. Sounds a bit like the bagpipes. Are we now offloading?
Yep.
Are they on shore going, what are they doing out there? Why did we just switch tanks?
No, because we still had cargo going ashore from this tank.
Oh, okay. Now, have I just held you up like a day or something by...
No, not even just a few seconds. That's how we do it. We switch tanks to bring them down evenly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I did a good thing?
You did a great thing. Good job.
Thanks, Captain Powell.
You're welcome.
Give us a hug, buddy.
All right.
Thanks to a lot of skill and, quite frankly, a little luck, work on board an oil tanker usually goes smoothly. But we all know accidents happen. This is a dangerous business, and oil and water, they don't mix so good. Even when every single possible safety precaution has been taken, accidents still happen. And oil spills are incredibly toxic and damaging events. Entire ecosystems are threatened, and the effects can be felt for decades. The first major supertanker spill was the Torrey Canyon in 1967. She struck a rock off the British coast, and 120,000 tons of crude oil were spilt. Tragically, there were no plans in place to handle a disaster of this size. An oil slick of 270 square miles was created, and both the English and French coasts were contaminated. After the disaster, international groups began to push for laws to help protect the world from future spills. Here at Memorial University in Newfoundland, Professor Dag Fries is teaching his students how to build the next generation of safe tankers.
What I find particularly interesting is when I've got a bunch of bright students in the class who can challenge things that are being presented and make you think. You've got a certain mission that you're trying to achieve in a marine environment. The main danger is when these tankers get old, the likelihood of breakdown of equipment, machinery, etc., becomes much greater. In 1989, we had the Exxon Valdez disaster in Alaska. That was what led to one going from a single hull construction to a double hull construction. Here we have an example of a hull cross-section that is a double hull structure. So we got an outer shell here, and we got inside structure that then divides it, so you got basically two hulls. The distance between the inner hull and the outer hull is between 1 to 2 meters. Now, that is a function of the size of the vessel. So no less than 1 meter, but no more than 2 meters is required. And the same for the double bottom here. I think the double hull is here to stay with us for the foreseeable future. There will be things that are tweaked. It could be structural design changes where the energy of impact is taken by plastic deformation without affecting the inner hull. It's always a trade-off between the risk level and the cost. It's whatever is acceptable to society at that particular time.
We've invented something else to help with oil spills. It's called a penguin sweater. Isn't it cute? It prevents them from ingesting oil while trying to preen themselves. It's kind of like, look, I'm sorry about your ecosystem, but I knit you this. Here in Canada, government regulations require that there are detailed plans and response teams standing by, and this is the home of the ECRC. Their job is to provide oil spill response in Canadian waters. It can be a dangerous challenge, but when there is a crisis, the ECRC swoops in like an environmental SWAT team.
Eastern Canada Response Corporation is responsible for a geographic area from the BC-Alberta border to the east coast of Newfoundland. Our equipment is all stored in a preparedness state. It's ready to go at any time. Depending on what information is provided to us from the responsible party, we'll bring a certain amount of equipment and materials to deal with those type of operating environments. Our sea trucks are used primarily for moving equipment, personnel, and as you see, boom around on a spill site. So we might have easily 2 or 3 on a smaller spill, and on a larger spill we could have as many as 8, 10 or more. Here we have an example of one of our booms. It's a Kepner boom, which is an auto-inflating boom. We also have another type of boom here, which is our general purpose boom, the boom that's most commonly used in our region. It consists of a rigid buoyant core. We also have a skirt area which drops down below that. The boom has a couple different functions. We can use it to contain oil in a specific area. We can use it to exclude oil from entering into a sensitive area. We can also use it to divert it or cascade it, pushing it from, say, the center of a channel closer to shore to an area where we can clean it up.
One of the many tools the ECRC uses to clean the water is the skimmer.
It should be fairly easy to see the oil here. It's being drawn into the discs. The discs are picking up the oil. The oil is being brought up onto the scraping blades where it's being scraped off. The oil is then going down into the sump area. We have our discharge hose here. The pump will draw the product from there and we would pump it out to our storage tank.
Well, that's okay for a small spill, but what do you do when there's a big mess to clean up?
The skimmer is designed to be placed on the side of one of our sea trucks, or as you see, it's on a trailer, readily transported to a site where we can attach it to the side of a vessel of opportunity, a tug, or other vessel that's in the area. Time is definitely a factor. The longer the product is in the water, obviously, the greater area it's going to impact. We train to be prepared for those situations and to get them cleaned up as quickly as possible.
Good work, ECRC. Man, I'm glad those guys are on the job.
We can trust in the skill and diligence of their crews and hope that going slow and steady will get these giant tankers into port safely, because as long as our addiction to oil continues, we're going to have to rely on these giant ships to brave the high seas and bring the black gold home to us.